You are now tuned in to Big Will Knows Wrestling.
What's going on, everybody? It's Will from Big Will Knows Wrestling coming to you with episode 7 this week in WWE. A lot of rumors going around, a lot of people talking about leaving, so we're going to get into it. First, as you can probably see in the edge of the camera, I have me a brand new microphone. So I'm about to take this thing to the next level. I'm happy I got this microphone. Shout out to Marquise Wallace. He does his own podcast in South Carolina. He gave me the suggestion to try to get a mic, so I just took it. That's just what I do. You know, when you want to do something that's bad, you're just gonna do whatever you can to make sure you get what you need. So got me a mic. I would plug the brand, but nah, I ain't gonna do that yet. So we're gonna jump straight to it. First of all, we all know, and that you've been sleeping on the rock, it's Black History Month. So every day I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite black wrestlers of all time, and now. One of my favorite black wrestlers right now, of course, is Apollo Crews in WWE. You know, he got some skill. I think my favorite thing about him is his step-up enziguri. He gets so high, is executed so well. I feel like he's probably got one of the best step-up enziguris that I've seen in wrestling so far. His finishing move, I think he need to change it a little bit, but other than that, he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, I hope WWE keeps him, but he could be another one that can be on the way, about to hit the bricks. You never know. You just got to pay attention. You got to see. As far as WWE wrestlers from back of the day, I mean, you can say Farouk, you can say The Rock, but what about his other stablemates that were in the Nation of Domination? Preferably The Godfather. Man, first of all, I think his name was Kama when he was in the Nation, but then he changed his gimmick to The Godfather. Dude clean. I like that gimmick. Everybody was buying to that gimmick. You know, everybody was imagining to be a pimp one day in their life. You know, but, you know, Kama Mustafa, The Godfather, he was a good character. You know, he went into the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, and I liked him. You know what I'm saying? I think that he deserved to go into the Hall of Fame. You think he's a European champion, not like a world champion, but still, he had a good enough presence in black wrestling. So I'm happy about that. Now we're gonna get into Raw. Raw, to me, wasn't as good as last week's show, but I think everybody pretty much said the same thing. It was 2.5 viewers, down from the Royal Rumble show, but you know, still a little up there. Becky Lynch and Stephanie McMahon, they're talking about their, they got into a heated rivalry. It's really starting to come off as it's no longer the man Becky Lynch. It's Becky 316 to me now, because you know Vince McMahon going at Becky Lynch. I mean, I don't know if she's trying to start that rivalry. I don't know, but you know, Becky Lynch and Stephanie McMahon was good for TV. I liked it. Another highlight for me, Lio Rush got to go against Finn Balor. You know, there was rumors going around that Finn Balor was supposed to go to 205 Live. We all know that wasn't going to happen, but it was good to see Lio Rush in the match, because Lio Rush put on a show, and he actually did pretty good. I mean, Bobby Lashley interfering was just like, really, why? But it was still overall a good show. Seth Rollins didn't appear, which shows that what they're saying backstage is true. Seth Rollins may be injured, and he's just resting up to get ready for the Royal Rumble. The Boss and Hug connection, they're going for the women's tag team titles. They won their match. I didn't like Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox together, because Nikki Cross is coming off as a face, not a heel. But you never know. You know, they both crazy, apparently. So you just never know what they got going on or what everybody's trying to see. I gave that show a- this week on my end. Maybe some other people would disagree. Oh, Ronda Rousey, the Riot Squad. See, Ronda Rousey, I think they're trying to turn her into a heel, but it's real hard because everybody loves Ronda Rousey, but they capitalizing on people booing her. So that's probably why they're just like, okay, well, if they're booing her, let's just make her the heel, make Becky Lynch the face, and we're looking like, why can't we cheer for both? Because you got people that still like Ronda Rousey, but she beat up the Riot Squad. Now Ruby Riot want to challenge her. I'm just like, oh, here we go, SmackDown 2018 all over again. But you never know. As far as SmackDown, Becky Lynch appeared again. She was clearly suspended, but she appeared again, getting into it with Triple H. But the one thing that I did like was, wow, Triple H must be calling the shots on SmackDown now. He's appearing a lot more, which is what SmackDown needed anyway. So he's appearing a lot more on SmackDown, and he got into it with Becky Lynch. Charlotte tried to get involved, and I think what's leading to speculation that Charlotte's going to probably get added to a triple threat main event. My personal opinion, Charlotte don't need to be in it. That's just straight up. And the reason why I say that is because I'm like, Charlotte, come on, you had your moment. You're going to have many more of those moments, you know. Why would the first main event in women's wrestling at the biggest show, the show of the Immortals, why would it be a triple threat match? No. We know that it needs to be Becky versus Ronda. That's what we want to see right now. Charlotte, we love you. We appreciate you. We love what you did for the business. We know you're the woman face of the company, but we ain't trying to see you. Next year it can be Charlotte versus Becky, Charlotte versus Sasha, Charlotte versus Bayley. They can do all that next year. This year is Becky versus Ronda. So we gonna leave that there. Andrade Cien Almas keep going at Rey Mysterio. Mustafa Ali with that black eye. God Lord, you know. Samoa Joe, first of all, Samoa Joe need to be getting the biggest push because this man is like legit. He needs to be a champion. Y'all better watch out because he might be the next one to leave and try to. And then when his contract's up, if they don't do him right, he's really gonna leave and go to AEW because he's an indie guy already. But Samoa Joe, he's over with the fans. But it's kind of like whatever. It's kind of whatever. The Usos cut a promo on Shane and McMahon and The Miz. I'm like, yeah, I know that tag team's not going to last too much longer. But the Usos should be champions. We're going to talk about the Usos a little bit later. Overall, SmackDown, that was a B to me. Naomi, the tag team thing, Naomi, like I didn't like how the women's SmackDown division just said, we're just going to be in matches. I'm like, what type of stuff is that? Y'all not gonna earn them? I mean, but granted, it's obvious the Iconics need to be in there. Fire and Desire need to be in there. You know, I'm really starting to get irritated with the Naomi and what's that girl name? Mandy Rose situation. I'm like, bro, why y'all keep letting Mandy Rose get over on Naomi? Can't y'all go find somebody else to let her get over? It's Black History Month. Come on now. Naomi's one of the top black wrestlers in the world, and y'all gonna keep letting Mandy Rose just keep getting over her. And Naomi, you cool with that? Nah, B, we ain't gonna do that. So SmackDown to me was a B plus, B minus. I mean, based off the ratings, they pretty much said ratings are coming out. It was at 1.8 million viewers, which is down from last year. But I mean, you know, same people being inserted, you know. Which leads to, I think they had a debut this week. EC3 finally debuted against Dean Ambrose. First of all, Dean Ambrose, for him to be leaving the company, he is sure putting a lot of people over. He let EC3 get over on him, but I feel like EC3 should have been on SmackDown. That's just my personal opinion, but hey, if he's going to be on Raw, maybe they don't have a branch for him because, you know, Heavy Machinery, who are the latest to lose their names, Otis and Tucker. I'm like, really? Come on now. Why we call him Otis Dozovic because he's a Dozervic, but whatever. He lost his name, but you know, maybe they just a match on there. He might get on SmackDown, but I'm still not liking how EC3 is a mute. And then even when he was trying to do his thing on the crowd, he didn't even say win this match. I hate to go back to Raw, but I didn't like it. You know, so we this thing is EC. Is it EC3? Or whatever, but it was kind of like, you know, he'll say my name, and I'm like, all right, B, so you saying say your name, but like, no, we want more, we want different than that. But once again, I digress. We're gonna cut back. We're gonna go to NXT UK. In the NXT UK, Walter went against Mark Coffey, Mark Coffey put on a good show. Like I'm saying, them Coffey boys, like Gallus can be a real powerful faction and can be a problem, just like it is for the Undisputed Era. But Mark Coffey went against Walter. They put on a good match. Walter ended up beating him. I thought that was a good match. I got to see Jordan Devlin cut a promo. He's going against somebody from going against Noam Dar from 205 Live. I'm like, Noam Dar's not really. I thought he was gonna be NXT UK. Not really NXT UK. Not really feeling that. Tony Storm came out and tried to go after Rhea Ripley after Rhea Ripley tapped Xia Brookside. Then they set up their match, which means Rhea Ripley's not done, even though I really wanted her to go to NXT, the main NXT North America. But I mean, hey, can't really do anything about it. We just gotta roll with what you got and deal with the hand that you're being dealt with. So that's that. I felt like NXT UK was an A. Could have been an A. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. It was an A+. But I don't want to be biased because everybody knows that I say that NXT is what's saving WWE right now. They don't want to believe me, but that's really truly what it is. But that's where I'm at with it. As far as NXT North America, they went at it with kicked off Johnny Manziel. Not Johnny Manziel, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Football. They're no different. The Velveteen Dream, they had a little beef. It was kind of like some crappy matches. No, crappy matches. They were good matches. I'm sorry, but I was really the Velveteen Dream. First of all, man, I don't know who. If he's his own writer, this man is awesome. Like after his WWE career is up, they need to sign him, keep him signed, and give him a lifetime deal so he can still work with wrestlers. Because this dude pretty much walked to the ring. Now, if you've been sitting live, you also have been sitting on a rock. You haven't noticed. If you didn't watch wrestling over the weekend, Worlds Collide tournament, Velveteen Dream won. He walked down to the ring, went to Tommaso Ciampa and was like, "I think you're infatuated with the Dream." And I know that you're excited about being in the Dream's presence right now. I know you're infatuated with selling the spotlight with the Dream, but I don't want you. And then kept on walking. And, usually Tommaso Ciampa will attack somebody. He didn't even attack him, so I'm like, the Dream is like crazy. But, he wants Johnny Gargano, got his match. Ricochet, Adam Cole set up. Drew Gulak. Now, I was a little excited because I thought Drew Gulak was just like a part of NXT for good. I'm like, yes, this guy, this is where he belongs. But then he's not a part of NXT. I'm like, man, what is this? I'm like, he came here for one match, went against some dude, he was rocking and rolling, whatever the heck he was doing, got beat up. And I was just like, man. But bro, the original bro, my bro, Matt Riddle, came down to the ring. They put on a good match. They shook hands afterward, but yeah, that was match of the night to me. It was a 6-woman tag team match. Maria Shafir, Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke went against Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, Bianca Belair, and I ain't gonna lie. I know I was talking about how I didn't like how Bianca Belair was going undefeated. Now I'm feeling Bianca Belair. I'm really riding with her. I want to see her take this journey to the championship, but in the match, the thing that kind of stuck out to me was Io Shirai getting the pin. I'm like, okay, so are they trying to set up that it's not going to be Bianca, not going to be Belair Baszler too? Is that what they're trying to set up? I mean, I don't know, but you can just tell based off the tapings that it's just kind of like, they do tapings every 3 weeks, of course. They can't put like 6 weeks worth of content up, but they do like tapings every 3 weeks, so we don't really know for sure what it's setting up to be. It's clearly not setting up a takeover. These are just, it might be a major moment at the end. A lot of people speculated. I already know what it is. Spoilers already been sent out. But this is just gearing up to get you to the first 3 weeks. The next tapings that happen in March, believe is March 13th. That's setting up for a takeover Brooklyn. Is it 5, I think? I think it'll be 5 this time. That's setting up. But overall, good week in wrestling. WWE is still holding it down thanks to NXT. You're welcome. As far as the rumors, that are sparking right now. So basically, the biggest rumor to me about people contracts, and Fightful Sean Ross has reported that the Usos have not re-signed to WWE. You know, a lot of people made a big deal about that, but to me personally, I feel like it's no big deal. The Usos are the best tag team in the world, so they're going to stay in the best company in the world and push tag team wrestling. That's why they haven't went to Raw, because that's where they want the tag team divisions on Smackdown. I think it's just they haven't re-signed. I don't think a lot of people think they're going to leave the company. Me personally, I don't think they're going to leave, but it'll be amazing if they did, because if they went to AEW, because the Young Bucks, as much as I love the Young Bucks, I think I'm just a fan of tag team. Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world, but come on now. You missed your opportunity. Matter of fact, no. I'm not gonna call out Matt and Nick Jackson, because they are a good tag team, but I feel like they missed the opportunity, because the Young Bucks versus the Young Bucks keep talking about the Revival. The Usos are way better than the Revival. So I feel like the Young Bucks versus the Usos should be the match that everybody wants to see, because the Usos have been a dominant tag team along with the New Day in WWE for the past 5 years. You know, tag team champions like 5 times. They're just it. So if they do leave, that'll be a big blow. Another name that keeps popping up is AJ Styles, Finn Balor. I'm like, AJ Styles. If I had to pick between which one was leaving first, I think AJ Styles will leave before Finn Balor. And if Finn Balor leaves, he's not going to... I don't think he's going back to AEW. I think he's going to Japan, where where he was a star for a long time. I mean, granted, he's from England or whatever, but I don't think he's leaving WWE. I'll pick AJ Styles to leave, because AJ Styles really has, in his young career, AJ Styles probably 40 years old now. He has nothing left to prove. He's done it on all major levels. So he's like the Chris Jericho. He's like on the same atmosphere and same level as Chris Jericho. So if he chooses to leave and go to AEW, of course it wouldn't be for the money, just because he wants to try something else. He wants to do something else new. But speculation, AJ Styles has already re-signed with the company, which is pretty big. You know, still can draw some names. Sasha Banks talked about, I think it was, so it's rumored Mauro Ranallo, his contract's up and everybody want him to call his matches. And I think Sasha, this is crazy. Somebody says, I want Sasha Banks commented under his post, hey, I want you to call one of my matches before I leave. And everybody speculating Sasha Banks leaving. Look, this is about to happen. Sasha Banks is gone. One of the 4 horsewomen are gone. Why? Because Sasha Banks have nothing left to prove. Again, she's pretty much done it on all levels. NXT champion, in Raw Women's champion. I don't think she has one of the Smackdown Women's champion, but Sasha Banks is on the money team. Is on Raw where she belongs. She ain't gonna go to SmackDown, so there's really nothing else for her to prove. So she decides to leave because they're creative. You know, she pretty much embarrassed. I mean, she pretty much done it all, including embarrassed Ronda Rousey on a pay-per-view stage. Why would she stay? There's nothing left for her to prove. But anyway, people been speculating. Another big wrestler they've been speculating, Randy Orton. Randy Orton. They talking about Randy Orton has got offered a massive contract from AEW, and you know, Cody Rhodes. If y'all don't know, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase Jr. were all in a faction called Legacy or whatever, and they might be, you know, they learn from each other. They might be good friends backstage too, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. But I don't think Randy Orton's leaving WWE anytime soon. He's, you know, unless he decides he wants, like, you know, Cody Rhodes testing any market in the work. Maybe Randy Orton decides he wants to test any market, see how it goes. But I don't think that personally, I don't think he's the next one to go either. But we just have to wait and see. And and we'll go from there. So as far as everything else, wrestling in WWE is pretty good, but if all these superstars are planning to leave, and that's not a good look for the company. And I don't know why they want to go, but to me, it's just coming off as if like, dang, it's something AEW is doing, or the indie market in wrestling is doing to make wrestlers say, you know what, I'm fed up with WWE. Is it creative freedom? Like, what's going on? So we just have to keep playing it by ear and see where everything goes. I know you guys want to hear about what I feel about the AEW rally and what I saw, but you ain't gonna get it on this episode. It's gonna be a whole nother episode of AEW. Like I said, I love to release as much content as I can. I don't want to overload you, but we're gonna hear. I want y'all to sit there and I want you to take everything I say when it comes to AEW. So we're gonna end it on this note. Like I always tell you, if you believe in something, knock it out. And make sure you stay on top of it. Another thing I'm gonna tell you is, before you do anything in the morning, I don't want to be no health freak. Eat something. I don't usually share what I deal with when I record my show, but this morning I tried to record this show 7 times. 7 times, and I wasn't feeling it each time, and I was like sad, and I was like, what's wrong with me? What I got to be sad for? I mean, I had a good job. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm invested. What am I sad for? I just said, forget about it. I'm just gonna get me something to eat and come back and try it later. I ate so food, and now I have so much excitement to do these shows. I'm like, man, if I don't chill my soft behind on out. But that's a whole nother ball game. But thanks for watching episode 7. This is episode 7, and we in February, Black History Month. So appreciate you. I can't use Kenny Omega's thing, so I'm just gonna tell y'all peace.